Hello everyone, and welcome to Formula Racing League. We are coming to you now live for our Season 3 race from Circuit of the Americas in Texas. We have 16 drivers with us today. We've got Raro, Fiji Domo Flex, Taylor, Funk Red Baron, Rafa, Balzac Brother John, Ginger, Sheer Insanity, X-Max, El Sucio Dan, Broken Blinker, Luke, and Ian Brax, and Cam Bourne. And we just might have Santi making his way in partway through qualifying. So once again, I am Chaos, coming to you with what is going to be the first race of the final stretch of our season. We've got USA, Mexico, Brazil, Abu Dhabi, and Imola remaining ahead of us. Who's that pulling out? I think that's Fiji making his way out. On board, and let's take you through a lap around Circuit of the Americas. We make our way through the first sector. It's very, very similar to Silverstone. You've got a lot of these high-speed S's, and a couple of moments where you need to really manage your speed. You take this corner nice and tight through here so that you can get a nice corner cut up ahead and get the power on. Avoid going too wide there because you can pick up a penalty, and then accelerate down this big hill, right around 75 meters or thereabouts, and then the hairpin. Now we're on to the biggest overtaking chance of the whole season. We're making our way along this straight. You can see the tower and the Ferris wheel off in the distance as the car accelerates up to over 300 kilometers an hour, blazing its way down this track, and now we're coming up towards the braking zone. It's a little bit late here. You hit the brakes right around 100 meters and make your way. Now we're coming into the third sector. We're into a really, really tight, twisting, low-speed section. A lot of chances for cars to get sideways on each other here and have a little bit of wheel-to-wheel battling. Making our way through this corner, and now we're coming around to one of the major moments of this track. It's a high-speed corner based off of Istanbul's famous turn 8. A little bit wide there for Fiji, and it's careful. When you go wide, you really get stuck there. And here, blind apex corner. And now only one turn to go. Shift down, make your way down into third as you take your way in, and then get the power on as fast as you possibly can. And here we go. The lap begins, and Fiji's going to take us around once more. We're going to see what we can get as a placeholder lap here. And hello to everyone who is in the chat. I am now here reading the chat along with you guys. There we go. There we go. Not too much wheel spin as he makes his way out. See yellow in sector 3, but there's just some cars making their way through a little bit slowly. So it's a very interesting section here. There's quite a few apparent apexes that you don't really want to hit at all because they're all such short, tight corners that you really are trying to take the optimal line through the whole complex rather than focusing too much on a single turn. Alright. Fiji making his way around. And that's going to be the first lap. It's a 1:33.8 for Fiji Domo. Alright, on board with Ginger, making our way through Sector 1. Full deploy is on, so this is a hot lap for the Red Bull driver. Short shifting to keep the traction going there. Nice wide line. You can see this very, very wide entrance line that Ginger is taking there in order to get as smooth and broad a corner as possible. A wide corner is a fast corner. He's coming up on one of the McLarens. That's either Balzac or Brother John off in the distance there. There's the braking down into second gear, clipping the inside of the apex. That's a nice line, and then swinging wide, catching the apex again. Good lines through here. And now this tricky little section, shifting up and then getting down into second, clipping the apex again, giving a nice, compromising the entrance just a little bit to get a good exit. Raro has hit a 133.388, that's half a tenth up. Here we go, the blind apex, perfectly hit. And now, making our way around once more, just going to get a little bit of a draft off of Balzac here. And in fact, I wonder if Balzac is just starting a lap right now, or if that was Balzac also got that. But that was a provisional pole lap for Ginger, who is 7/10 up on Raro. We've also seen Rafa set a line here, but let's see who hasn't set yet. We've got Camborne. So let's see what Cam the Man's going to be able to do here, coming into the third sector. Making our way underneath the base of the tower. Oh, we've got a little bit of someone going slow through the S's. Making his way through Sector 3. The Blind Apex, of course, there are drivers here who will be using the racing line, which does make the Blind Apex a little bit less tricky. But here we have it. What do we got? And for Cam, that is P2, still 6/10 off of Ginger. Now, Ginger is pretty new with us, but has shown some really, really strong pace in the first couple of races here. Broken Blinker coming around, and this will be the start of a lap. Broken Blinker, also one of the drivers to join us relatively recently this season. Coming up the hill, a great big chunk of earth there. Makes his way, carrying speed through the corner. You can take it just a little bit tighter through the first corner there, shave off a tenth or two. And now the S's, a lot of time is made up and lost here. You gradually downshift, and you don't want to compromise your speed too much. That was nice. A little bit of a corner, but you have to compromise on that so that you can get this line. The cut, here we go, and now the power goes down. Accelerating his way down the hill, and now we're in to Sector 2 quite comfortably at this point, around the hairpin. And now it's just raw acceleration. It's all about how slippery your setup is. You need to find the compromise. Between a slippery setup, you can see 319 and Flex has rejoined the session. The compromise that will get you through the S's and the other high downforce sections quickly, while also allowing you to get through both the high-speed section and this very, very slow technical section. Now, it's very interesting, but the fast sections are really a hard place to make up time. It's how well you can navigate your way through the slower sections. Here we go, moment of truth. Doesn't go wide, keeps the lap clean, and here we go, Broken Blinker coming in. Where's the time going to be? Currently P10 with a 136, and it's up to 135.16 off of Luke Brax, and Broken Blinker is ahead of Balzac. Luke Brax getting out of the way there. Nice Ian on an outlap. Let's see, lots of drivers coming up for their second laps now. Why don't we go on board? Or perhaps float by with El Sucidan. Just a moment, I'm going to adjust the volume a touch. Through the first corner, El Sucidan taking his Ferrari around. So ESD is currently 8th through the championship at 80 points. He is just outside of that. Pardon me, that was Balzac. El Sucidan has 150. So he's right in the middle of that group that's kind of in a battle for 4th place in the championship. He is, of course, the defending champion. No, we've got a little bit of a gaggle up ahead. What's going on there? It's just a couple of cars making their way back to El Sucidan, shall we? And I'll leave that little chart up because while it's nice to see the corner, it's also nice to know where everyone is. Right now we've got 2 people who set out to qualify on mediums, but it's not working out all that well right now. We've got a big, slow crowd ahead of ESD as X-Max sets the fastest lap going with a 131.878. That's some big time that they're carving out, starting to separate the fastest echelons of this group. But also Sucidan still has not had his say, and he's clean so far on this lap. There's only really one corner that can get messed up, and that's right here. uses exactly as much of the exit as he can. Then around the inside. Cars up ahead, but fortunately they never got into play, and Elsus again on mediums qualifies P9. I imagine he might want to put on some softs, but, well, yeah, there's a couple of speedy guys in this group who will definitely be threatening that. One of them is Flex. Let's talk about Flex. Bahrain, 1. China, 1 fastest lap. Spain, 1 fastest lap. Monaco, 1 fastest lap. Canada, P2. He earned a massive heap of points in the first 6 races of the season and was completely dominating the championship. But then he wasn't able to take part in Portugal, had some bad luck in France and Austria, picked up a couple more podiums, but then he's only scored 2 points in the last 4 races due to a couple of absences, and that has allowed people like Camborne to become challengers, incidentally. Flex has had his lap disallowed, so we'll move away from him for a moment. Taylor Funk's going to be setting the lap in a moment. So the championship right now is Flex leading 22 points ahead of Camborne. 206 to 184. Camborne just barely has the lead over Kenny LaFleur. And honestly, I should see if I can get Kenny here, because if he misses out on this, that would be a real shame. Alright, here comes T-Funk. Oh, wide through the first corner. He is on the soft tires. Ginger currently going on a hot lap, and that is a purple sector for T-Funk. Currently no lap time. Nice trail braking into there. Taking the corner third. And now here we go. He's got, I believe that is a Alpine and an AlphaTauri up ahead, but they shouldn't be getting in the way here since they've got a decent sized gap to them. One wheel out on the green there. As he brakes and makes his way now into sector 3. These are tight, winding corners. Oh, and we've had, moment for Rafa as he loses it there. That's not going to be a fast lap, unfortunately. Taylor Funk coming through. Nice tight line here. Yellow flag is still out. Ooh, that was, it's disallowed, disallowed. And he just takes it out on the bollard. You did this to me. Just as Rafa takes it out on the distance marker. Alright, let's see. We've seen the lap with Gingers, but we're just starting one right here. So why don't we ride again with Ginger, who started us off here, and now, with 4 minutes left, we continue to see if Ginger can get into the top 3. Right now, X-Max has provisional pole with a 131.878. 132 flat for Rafa, and a 132.5 for Sheer Insanity. I've said it over and over again, but I think it bears repeating. Sheer has shown some very, very strong pace. In several races, he's looked like the likely winner or a challenger for wins, but he's had a lot of misfortune. He's had a lot of races that did not go his way after a strong qualifying. So really, Sheer's just looking to convert some of his pace into results. You would not expect that a guy with his pace would be 11th in the championship with 62 points, but one race could bump him up to 8th. And honestly, I wouldn't be at all surprised. Oh, hello. I think we've got a broken blinker chilling off on the corner there, just watching him go through. Back to Ginger, though. As he makes his way through, a little bit of a compromise there. I'm not sure if this is going to be able to improve on his 132.6, but let's see. More yellow flags up. Alright, here we go. The line's just ahead. 132. Oh, there we go. Does take 2/10 off. Ginger up to P3, just shaving off a little bit to get ahead of Sheer Insanity, who is currently not out. We're on board with Camborn, who is just blasting his way through Sector 1. Actually, hang on. I think this is probably an in-lap. Balzac, though, looks like he's on the pacey one. And it's disallowed. I did it. I did the thing I promised not to do. I brought out the danger car. XMX right now, seeing if he can improve. Things are looking pretty nice here. 128, 29, 30. Can he go faster? Yes, he takes another 3/10 off of it. And really, really solidifies his challenge for the pole with a line in the sand. 131.6. What are you guys going to do about it? Well, Rafa, I think he's one fellow who could potentially do something about that. Power up into the pits. Ian Brax coming out. And here we go. Yeah, this will be Ian Brax. So at the very start of the season, look at Ian Brax. We're looking like they might be the story of the season, catapulting Alpine into almost what was looking like a very decent chance at the Driver Championship, but they just haven't been able to make it to all the races. But when they do, there's always something interesting that happens. Oh, that was close to a corner cut, but he gets away with it. And that definitely was a corner cut, and that lap is finished. Not going to go any faster for Ian Brax. And that's Fiji, who's just gone P8 with a 132.838. So looking at this, right now, all the drivers who currently have times are separated by about a 3.5 second gap. Brother John, keeping out of the way, he'll be setting his own lap soon enough. But let's move over to Rafa. So Rafa is about to be starting a hot lap here, as his Mercedes curves its way through Sector 3. Here we go. It's clear sailing ahead. No cars in the way, and Rafa has a chance to take another half of a second off of his time to put one hand onto the pole position trophy tire, or whatever it is that we hand out to people virtually. Kudos. Well, X-Max won't be setting any faster laps. His mark is made. Now it is up to all the other drivers to see if they can do anything more about that. Rafa, engine blaring as he shifts it down, engine braking, and it's not going to be Rafa. He's not going to go any faster. Maybe Taylor Funk can do something. Actually, I think Taylor Funk just did something. He was setting his lap as I was looking away, and Taylor Funk has gone from out of qualifying to 4th place. Incidentally, Flex is also out of the session with 0 laps. I'm going to double check to make sure that he's able to get back into the session here. What's this? I see raindrops falling. Well, there we go. No one's going to be setting any faster times now. Let's see if anyone else is still out on the lap. Ian Brax coming through. Can he go faster? He cannot. Whoa, that was a weird little glitch right there. Let's see if Brother John can do anything. No, it's not going to be happening. Well, there you have it. Your pole sitter is X-Max with a 131.5, a dominant qualifying performance. Rafa P2, Sheer, Ginger, Taylor Funk, Luke Brax, Camborne, Rawro, Fiji, Ian Brax, Brother John Balsic, El Susan, Red Baron, Broken Blinker, and Flex, who did not set a time. Unfortunately, Santi hasn't been able to make it. But so she goes. The race must go on, and we've got 16 drivers who are going to be bringing you what should be a good hour or so of entertainment. Oh, Santi, he's trying to just squeeze in under the line. Let's see if he can make it. Oh, hang on. We just had El Dan dropping from the session. Good thing I sent him a backup invite. We're waiting for players, so he might just be able to slip in. So let's talk a bit about the championship right now. Flex is back for the first time in 2 races. Santi is in. Santi is in the session. Let's see if he's able to get a car. Good to see Dan's back. But as we were saying, Flex at 206 and Cam at 184. Kenny LaFleur, who is not in this race, with 179, even though he won Japan. It's a shame. It looks like Santi. Alright, so as we were saying, Flex, Cam, and Kenny, but then behind them, we've got a really, really tight battle. Luke Brax, who's here, 147 points. Rawro, who's here, 140 points. Rafa, who's here, also 140 points. Rafa has shown some big pace. He's got 5 podiums, including 2 victories this year, but he hasn't scored points for any of the last 3 races. And then El Sudan, who's having dreadful connection problems right now, is sitting at 115. He's looking like he is not going to be able to defend his championship this year, but he could still very well get a strong result. And then we've got Balzac at 80, X-Max, who has managed to score up 75 points in just 5 races, Prestige, who unfortunately isn't able to join us today, at 66 points, Sheer Insanity at 62, Ian Brax at 38, Taylor Funk at 36, including an excellent second place in Belgium, and then Red Baron with 35 points. Get Dunked at 33. Sadly, Get Dunked isn't going to be able to continue racing with us this season. Fiji at 32, including an excellent Russian podium. 25 points for Nameless Nate. J.O. Patel, who's been away for a while, at 24. And Brother John at 24. Then we've got, of the racers who are here today, T. Goldie at 18, Santi at 16, Ginger at 8, Broken Blinker at 1, and that is our standings of the drivers who are in the top. Oh. Yeah, so we're just consulting with El Sucio Dan right now, trying to figure out what's going on. I'll send him another invite. Hey, hey, hey! It looks like we've got the Dan. Or El Dan. Or El Plan. El Sucio Plan? I should make it I should workshop a joke about this. I'll get back to you guys.
I like the
So,
joke. Hello. Is
El
he
Sucio
having
Dan says he's
connectivity issues or is it game
he
issues?
says he's in. He says he's in.
Oh,
But
okay.
it also says we're still waiting for players.
Yeah, that's
So
because I was waiting for him. I missed
oh
it, so.
yeah.
All right.
And yeah, unfortunately Santi just showed up right as qualifying ended and missed. Oh, so El
Well,
Sucio says his game was crashed.
again?
I think he used the past tense. He's in.
Oh,
Nope. Wait,
okay.
hang on.
All right.
Okay, he's sending me very confusing messages. He said, "But I'm in." No, no. That's the reason. Oh, he's listening to me right now and
Oh my
sending me
God.
Steam
All right.
messages.
So
And
we're
responding.
good then.
We're good to go. We're good to go.
All right. Thanks.
All right. Well, there you have it, Raro, ladies and gentlemen, coming in to have a brief stewards. We are God. I'm pretty sure that's a no. I think that's a declaration of divinity from El Sucio Dan, parting the cars as Moses parts the waters. All right, here we go. 14 seconds until we begin our formation lap here. We've got the championship leader Flex, who is here to try and secure his first championship. We've got Camborn, who has been here every single race, has just been trying to get every point he can out of the championship, who is 22 points back, all according to El Sucio plan. Alright, X-Max takes us away as we begin our way around this sighting lap. One warm-up. Let's have a little bit of a look at the tire strategy, shall we? There we go. So, we're getting the AWS suggestion that this is going to be a two-stop. I disagree somewhat with that. I think that the move here is the one-stop strategy. I think if you're on the softs, you want to do a one-stop onto the mediums. If you're on the mediums, you want to run long and then take the softs to the end. The tricky thing in all of this, of course, is that, you know, things don't always go according to plan. To El Sucio plan, even. So you could potentially see some two-stops. I could definitely imagine some medium-soft softs, or perhaps some soft-medium softs happening. Interesting. Sheer is allowing quite a bit of a gap to form up to X-Max and Rafa, and for some reason Rafa is ahead of X-Max. Rafa, my friend, what passes? So here we go. It's Sheer leading Ginger. Ginger is just ahead of Taylor Funk. Taylor Funk ahead of Luke Brax. Luke Brax ahead of Camborn, Raro, Fiji Domo in P9, Ian Brax P10. Brother John, first driver with the free choice of tires, and he is going to be on the mediums, as is his teammate Balzac, both in the McLaren's Red Baron, lining up P14. El Sucio Dan, right here in P13. Oddly out of order, he is looking a little bit ghostly right now, but hopefully that is again just all according to El Sucio plan. Broken Blinker in P15, and Flex running P16. Confusingly, all of these guys a little bit out of order right now. Oh dear, is that Ian who spun out? I really hope... What's... Oh dear, this is not normal at all. The cars line up. I imagine that Ian Brax is just going to get disqualified from the session and then put onto the grid. Well, this is a strange moment right here. Alright, this is extremely strange. So, who likes songs? So right now, Ian is stuck on track, and it is parked. All right. So, really high quality stream right here as we look at Ian Brax's car stuck in the back. I think we're going to have to create a grid. I'm going to go consult with two of our fellow stewards. Oh! ¿Qué pasa? All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to probably be remaking the grid. I'm just going to consult with Raw and Red Baron right now.
Hey.
Do we have a plan of what's
It's
happening
broken.
here?
Yeah, it sent us all back to the lobby, except the lobby never showed up. So
All right.
like it's
yeah,
just
okay.
fucked.
Remake. I think we need to remake the lobby with a custom grid.
Yep.
And
That's
that
what I'm
lets
doing.
Santi in. So you know what? This can work out for the better.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
I will depart.
Cool.
Actually, I'll go and communicate this to everyone who's in chat.
I was just gonna move us all back for a second. If you want to do that, that would be helpful while I set the lobby up.
I just said to the players to not.
So, here we go. Trying to... Poor El Dad just started the race alone. Yeah, okay, so we're getting everyone in this time. No more games. Alright. So... Baron, Rafa and Santi, Sheer, and Taylor Funk. Who else am I missing here? There we have it. That should be everyone who we need for the lobby. Let's make sure that we've got everyone. Actually, I'm just going to just gonna take a second and move myself up into the official channel for a while.
He's in practice and now broadcasting. I'm not sure what he's doing.
Oh,
to be honest.
Kenny's not able to be here. I've been speaking to Kenny. He just wanted to be able to listen to the broadcast,
Okay.
but he's not able to make it for the race
Cool,
apparently.
cool. All right. Anybody else need an invite?
So we should have
can you
18 people.
can you please set the race to be dry conditions, because that's what it was.
Yes. So we'll want to
Yep.
keep it on the conditions that it was.
Yep. And you have to, I mean, just please honor system, like pick the same tires as well. Like if you were in the top 10.
Oh, I
saw
saw
me-
everyone's tires. I had a close look at it. So if anyone changed it,
You guys saw me
my
qualify in hards, right? Like I qualified on hards.
time.
So I didn't qualify.
Flex is the one.
So
person
you're
who didn't
good.
qualify,
You
and Santi.
yeah, everyone that's outside the top 10, you can still make whatever choice
Of
you
course,
want.
yeah.
But the top 10, please select the tire you qualified on.
Inters for me.
I think it was a glitch of the game. I qualified on full. I don't know why I said I wasn't.
Yeah.
Okay, like real talk from ignorance here. If you're not in the top 10, can you just switch whatever tires?
Yes.
Outside of top 10, you have free choice of tires. If you're inside the top 10, you're required to start on whichever tire you set your fastest lap on.
Which was sauce for everyone. Everyone except for Flex was starting on sauce in the last lobby. Just for reference.
The 10% tire wear is gone now for the top 10.
That is correct. So the 10% tire wear is gone. That's just the nature of the beast right now, with us having to deal with some odd edge conditions. Spinning in a moment where the AI doesn't actually try to correct what your spin has done. I've never seen it before. Ian Brax doing what Codemasters, bug fixers have not.
All right. Can someone read me? I can't see the screenshots so far from me. Can someone read me the grid real quick so I can do this?
Yeah, of course.
X Max, Rafa, Sheer,
Mm-hmm.
Ginger, Taylor Funk, Luke Brax, Cam, Raro, Fiji, Ian Brax, Brother John, Balzac, me.
Wait. Sorry, one sec. Ian's not in. Oh no, he is.
Yeah, he's
Sorry, Ian is after Fiji.
Ian
Yeah.
P10. Yeah.
P10. Okay, and then
Brother John, Balzac, me, Red Baron, Broken Blinker, and Flex.
and then Santi after Flex.
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 Flex
Yeah.
in
P16.
Yeah, he's not in here either.
Yeah, we need to get Flex.
He seemed to be having some connectivity issues, maybe. So
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think he was in the back at the. Now that I'm thinking, I didn't see anyone in my rear view.
He's in the game.
I'm here.
he's here. He's here. I got
good,
you.
good.
All right, let me fix that, and then I'm gonna go over it once more, and then we can get
Excellent.
started.
Sure, you read them out and I'll double check.
Weather's still showing question mark.
Yep, I have not fixed that yet. Don't let me forget, but let me fix the grid first. Alright, and Flex, you were P16. Alright, reading them out, we got X-Max P1, Rafa P2, Sheer, Ginger, T-Funk, Luke Brax, Camborn, Raro, Fiji, Ian, Rojo, Balzac, ESD, Red, Broken Blinker, Flex, Santi.
That's correct.
Can I make a request that before we start the session, can I load my setup?
Everyone will be able to load their setup.
Yeah, I know, but I don't have it saved on my PC. I
Okay. If you don't have it saved, yeah, you'll have time to set it.
I know what it is.
Oh, good. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
fine.
don't-
Yeah, I'm gonna give everyone a minute or two, just like I did. So yeah, you'll have a second to do it.
All right.
All right, let me do the weather. Oh, this is new. Okay, you can like set it throughout the session. Interesting.
Rainy.
Brainstorm on that 20.
I think that's good now. So that should be everything. I don't do this very often,
Balzac
so
hasn't set his team. Balzac hasn't. Oh, there we go.
Sorry.
okay. Did I miss anything else? We got the grid. We got the weather set. Everyone can set their setup. We got Santi in. I think that's everything, yeah?
Excellent. Alright, I'll pop down into broadcasting and I'll just run our little title card once more. Since we've had a good little break here.
Indeed. Alright, dude, sorry about that. Good luck, everybody.
No one's been out on the
Good
way
luck,
too good this
everybody.
time.
Don't forget your setups.
Don't know if I can.
Good call, yes. Pick your setups.
And there you have it. After some chaos, and I'm not referring to my name, I'm referring to the actual total lack of order, we are now racing. Well, I shouldn't be too swift in saying we are now racing, but we are now steadily waddling in the general direction of racing. LCCDan saying, this is the reason I'm casually moving over to iRacing. This is FRL, brought to you by iRacing. People who theoretically know how to make a racing game as well. But do they have the license for F1 cars? Well, as it turns out, yes, they do. So if you ever want to race a Mercedes, they apparently do have those. Here we go. We're in. We've got the crowd. We've got a bunch of people who are just doing identical things. Look at that guy in the hoodie right next to his little twin. About 15 people over from the left side in the front row, just between the second and the third DHLs. They're doing the exact same animation right there, except one of them's in a hoodie and the other one is just in a red shirt. They probably didn't intend for us to be looking at them for quite this long, but we're going to take a moment to discuss that because I think it's worthy of our consideration. I wonder how much budget has to go into getting the models for all these fans. And honestly, the effect works pretty well if you're not looking at it closely. So we're taking a moment to get everyone's settings set up the way that they ought to be. We've got everyone in here. We've got Flex. We've got ESD. Santi has been able to make it in thanks to Ian Brax's heroic sacrifice. And now we are going to see a race at Coda. Now this is a track, I love it. I honestly think that this is a modern classic. I think it's going to be the home of American Formula One for some time to come. It's an excellent circuit. It has exciting racing. It's got some good overtaking opportunities. It's got some really, really challenging technical sections. It's got a few bits where the cars just fly. This is a state-of-the-art modern F1 track that is made for modern F1 cars. And it shows. This is a fun place to race at. It's a fun place to watch races at. There are a lot of good circuits like this one that don't get much use anymore, but I'm very happy that we get to run Coda. And I'm looking forward to seeing what these guys get to do here. There's a lot up for grabs in the championship, a lot of positions to be traded around. And let's talk a little bit about winners here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have had 7 winners this season. Flex has won. Camborne has won a single race. Kenny has won 3. Luke Brax has been victorious at 2. Rafa's got 2 victories. El Sucio Dan's got a pair. And X-Max has picked up a victory. Here we go. X-Max leading the way out ahead of Rafa, Shear, Ginger, Taylor Funk, Luke Brax, Camborne, Bravo, Fiji Dumbo, Ian Brax, Brother Charlie Balzac, El Sucio, Dan, Red Baron, Broken Blinker, Flex, and Santi. Aren't we happy to see that this guy is here on the grid with us today? We were worried that he wasn't going to be able to make it, and these are the first times he has driven on this track at all because he was not here for any sort of qualifying, and I don't think he was able to do much practice if he was as busy as I think he was leading into this. But here we go. So again, they're predicting a 2-lap strategy. I don't really think that's going to be the thing. So let's have a little bit of a look at our tires, making sure that no one is being a naughty bunny and switching up their tires. Yep, there we go. Well, this time it looks like we've got a whole lot of people outside of the top 10 who are running the mediums, so it's a pretty clean split. There we have it. And we'll enable ourselves. I'll leave the telemetry off for the first moment there. And what do we... yeah. Here we go then. X-Max has had some very, very strong results recently. He has been on the podium for 3 of his first 5 races. And he's making his way now out onto the grid. We're 20 minutes later than we expected, but ladies and gentlemen, we are about to begin Formula Racing League live, coming to you from Digital Coda. X-Max leads Rafa. Rafa ahead of Sheer. Sheer ahead of Ginger. Luke. Taylor Funk is in here somewhere. There he is. Camborn, Raro, Fiji, Domo, Ian Prax, Brother John, Balzac, El Sucia, Dan Red Baron, Broken Blinker, Flex, and Santi. He's in position, and that means that it's time to race. The lights are on, and out! Here we go, it's a strong start from the Ferrari. It looks like it was a little bit of a rough start for Rafa, who's getting swamped here. Ginger with a really, really strong start as they come into the first corner. Making their way through, a little bit wide for the Red Bull. They're keeping it together, and everyone looks like they're through successfully. Ginger up 2 positions, Raro up 4. We've got a yellow flag out, and that is Red Baron, who has just taken a little bit of a spin. Alright, get it back under control. All will be well. Let's see, actually, does he have any damage? I think his car is looking intact, but I need to see that end plate. No matter the... oh, Santi's off the track. Broken Blinker makes up a position. Brother John a little bit wide, and here's Fiji coming around. Oh, there's a bit of a crowd making their way down towards the hairpin corner. We've got, right in the back here, Brother John, a little bit of a dive up the inside of Fiji, and he is through. Balzac around the outside, and he pushes by, but Flex has been able to make up several positions, and he's really getting a lot of deployment. Now I think it's time for us to have a little bit of a look. There we go, let's turn on that telemetry. Turn on that lap data, and here we go. Oh, we're seeing a move here. As Sheer is making his way ahead, and further back we've got some battling going on here. As Fiji seizes a position from Balzac, making their way in through this section here. The cars are very, very close. Flex up the inside of Brother John. Now can Brother John... oh! We're having a little bit of a spin there, and Fiji is going to drop down. Red Baron might be able to catch up close to Fiji here. And now these two are going to be racing each other. Meanwhile, Broken Blinkers made it through on Balzac. Does Balzac have some damage here? Yes, he does. That's what's causing it. He's going wide. Santi is coming through, but... oh, the car's going into the pit. Santi sees what's going on. So here we go. At the end of the first lap, the cars make their way through. El Sucio down, followed by Flex. Flex followed by, I believe that is Brother John. Broken Blinker coming through 13. And Santi is at the back of the group that hasn't had any issues. Also, Balzac with his first lap pit stop is going onto a pair of softs. So we've got a tight little group here following the leader. Ginger up 2 positions. Raro up an excellent 4 positions. Sheer 2 positions down on the start. He was the one who had the roughest of all the starts here, so it wasn't fantastic for the Mercedes drivers. But they're through. Things are moving. Now we're going to see if anyone's close. While no one is closer than Camborn is to the back of Taylor Funk, and Camborn is going for some deployment right here. Let's see if he can do anything. That's him in that little Honda marked AlphaTauri, but he's only able to get close. He's not going to make the move right now. Carving his way through this section, he is pursued by Ian Brax. El Suciodan is a little bit of a gap behind for the moment. And the first lap spinners are actually almost catching up towards the back of the chasing group here. Taylor Funk is right behind Luke Brax in this battle for 6, but T-Funk goes a little bit wide. Meanwhile, that's the fastest lap for Ginger, who is not letting X-Max slip outside of DRS range. The cars make their way up to the top of the hill. And once again, Can gets close, but Taylor Funk is able to hold on to the position. It's Luke Brax directly in front of him. So Balzac is currently 17 seconds back on Red Baron, which is not too bad considering that he just did a pit stop. Oh, that's the yellow flag out. That's Blinker. Hopefully, just make your way around. Don't want to lose anything there. Oh, there goes the sign. And back onto the track. We're good. Everything is clear. All is well. So here's the pursuing group. We've got Sheer Insanity right behind Raro, and he's got a real close run here. Here we go. Raro is looking in trouble. Here comes Sheer Insanity up the inside, and Rawrcopter tries to outbrake him, but it's not going to happen. Sheer Insanity takes the position, and let's see if anyone else is getting close. Cam! Here we go. Cam up on the inside of Taylor Funk. Excellent view from on board with Ian Brax. And now Cam takes the wider line. That's going to allow him to carry more speed. He might even... Oh, he's looking aggressive there as he takes a little beat. Cam picks up a penalty for multiple warnings. I think that's a little bit of corner cutting that he has possibly been doing there. Now is Taylor Funk going to be able to take back a position here? The back broken blinker is fairly close onto the back of Sandy. Taylor Funk cutting the corners a little bit there. Things are getting a bit hectic, and now Ian Brax is going to see if he can follow up on what his brother has been doing. Carving away. Further back, we've got Santi and Broken Blinker in a little bit of a battle. It's a battle for 15th, but a battle for position nonetheless. But I'm going to come back to that in a moment, because we are going to have a look at the guys making their way through the first corner. Doesn't look like there's been any changes to position here. Oh, I looked away. Oh, I did it. I was thinking, oh, I need to see this, but I think, yeah, there we go. Santi has lost a front wing there, and he's going to need to make a pit stop to get that sorted out. Broken Blinker up into P15. He is 14 seconds off of Red Baron. Ian Brax picks up some time penalties. Putting him in the same bad boy bucket as Camborn right now. And here we go. They come in. And there's a little bit of a gap back to El Suciodan, currently in 10th position. And now, Taylor Funk is slightly vulnerable, but keep in mind Taylor Funk himself has some DRS that will keep him safe from the assault of Ian Brax. Here we go. Cam making a move on Luke. Is Luke going to be able to take it back? Cam making his way around, but I think that Luke... There we go. Cam now P6, Luke Brax P7. Taylor Funk getting close to the back of Luke Brax there as they make their way through. We've got a yellow flag out, and that is Santi, who has just come up. I hope that there's no... No, it's just a regular old spin for Santi. Going to P8. We've got some more yellows. Oh! We've just lost Flex. Flex off the track here. Is he perhaps taking some damage here? And Rafa. Rafa overtaken by El Suciodan. Something happened here. Is there any damage? Well, either way, oh goodness, I'm missing things left and right as Ian Brax is able to make his way through on Taylor Funk. Taylor Funk following very, very close, but there's not many opportunities for overtaking here. That's not going to want to stop him, though. He takes a look, but there's not a great deal that you can do. Look at how close Taylor Funk is getting to the rear diffuser of Ian Brax. Now they're making their way up. Are there any positions to be made up further behind? Taylor is being very, very aggressive here, and I think we're going to switch from position change over to tires now. So we can see that of the medium shot drivers, only El Suciaden has made his way up into the top 10 this one. Also, Camborn is through on Raro. And here we go, Brother John, who didn't know his balls in this one. So there's a small gap that is formed between Brother John, who's currently the leader of the second group, or maybe the third group now, because let's take a moment to have a look at the leaders. Here we have X-Max, and right behind them we've got Ginger, and these two are just carrying off the track here. Santi with a spin in Sector 1, but I encourage him, sir, keep at it, keep at it. There are safety cars that will happen. The grid will close back up. There's never a situation that becomes unwinnable. Meanwhile, I think we've got a little bit of a battle going on. Further back, we've got Broken Blinker and Balzac, who are getting pretty close to each other. Or is Balzac through? Well, we'll follow this just for a moment. As elsewhere, we've got the main group who are pushing their way through the S's. Let's take a moment and pop on board with Ian Brax in position 8. He's towards the edge of this group. As we push our way up, we can find Taylor Funk chasing Luke, and then Luke pursuing Raro, who has had a very nice start, but he's slowly been slipping down the positions a little bit as the race pace of some of the drivers around him comes into effect. So Raro has DRS on Cameron, but Luke, critically, does not have DRS. So this is going to allow Raro to make a little bit of a move here. Cameron goes tight to the inside, and now Raro is going to try and make a move around the outside. Raro hits the brakes, and he has seized the position. Well, there goes my narrative of Raro shedding positions. No, he is a battler, and he is fighting for it. He's still got Sheer Insanity just ahead, but this has opened up a little bit of a gap. And if Raro is not able to close it soon, then Sheer is going to be able to do something. Oh, we've just lost Santi. And that is a danger car. Now what's going to happen? Are the leaders going to pit? X-Max is in, Ginger is not. Sheer Insanity has had a little bit more time to think. Can I do 22 laps on mediums? Yeah, I think I can do that. Raro also coming in. Camborn. The first guy who's going to have to make a decision here is Ian Brax, because his brother has just gone in. I think Ian would be wise to just slow down a little bit. He's got El Suciaden right behind him saying, come on, man, come on. Oh, little bit of El Suciaden knows the game that Ian Brax is playing. He is not wanting to get stuck behind his teammate, but look at this. Here it happens. Oh, there's a little bit of crossover time, but he manages to just about avoid it. Meanwhile, let's look at anyone who went out. Of the cars who stayed out, well, Flex is coming in, Brother John. I don't think anyone, you know what, I just said it. I just said I don't think anyone would do this, but look at that. Here we go, Red Baron saying, hey, my mediums are fine, guys. I don't know what you're talking about. Red Baron comes through, and he is now in 11th place right behind RFX Rafa. Broken Blinker also coming into the pits, because why not? I'm in P16, it's not going to change my position one mite. Ginger and Red Baron. What is the thing in common between these two? They have opted not to pit. With Ginger, I don't think I agree with that decision, and I wonder if Ginger is just thinking, what have I done? Because Ginger is now ahead of a bunch of cars who are going to run to the end. Ginger is going to need to pit. So we've got a bit of a crowd who have gathered up. And let's see. Comes to Ian Brax, who is next to catch up with the safety car train. Here comes Rafa. Key moment, Ginger has not pitted. So we had the little lecture about danger cars. Looking at you, Fiji. Naughty, naughty. Alright, we've got Flex, Brother John, Balzac, and it's just Broken Blinker, who's making his way around up to the top of the corner 1 hill. He'll be catching up to everyone around the middle of Sector 2, and I think that means the safety car is going to end fairly quickly. Here we go. Broken Blinker is onto the back of the grid, and it's just in the middle of Sector 2. Heyo! Sup, Cam's engineer? How's it going, Micah? Anything to say about your man right now? Cam, number 2 in the championship. Very consistent score of points. He's currently 22 off of Flex. Hey, oh yeah, I just see. Hey there, Blinker's wife. Well, right now, we are just coming to the end of a safety car. I suspect we'll be getting an announcement that the safety car is coming in any moment now. You can see that the group is backing off, allowing it to get into the pits. Ginger is leading us away. Waiting for everything to be ready. So Ginger is going to lead on softs that are going to have a brief advantage, but that advantage is going to fade. The safety car has pulled into the pits. And now, Ginger takes it away. Here we go. Is anyone close? Oh, that's close. Flex is right on the back of Fiji. Let's see if anything happens here. Flex going for a move around the outside of Fiji Dumo. He breaks. Fiji comes in. There's just a little bit of contact. He keeps the last inch of his tire on the track, and with that, Flex is able to snatch a position off of Fiji's Williams. Flex is now going to try and make up some position here. Red Baron seems to have had a bit of a moment there as he's dropped down. Broken Blinker now 15 instead of 16. Now, is Brother John going to be able to do something on Fiji? So right now, Flex, Brojo, Balzac, Broken Blinker, all these guys are going to have a temporary tire advantage, but they're going to need to pit once again. Fiji is looking to be in a bit of trouble here. He has a moment of lost traction, but that might have been a bit of an advantage because it forced Brother John to get outside of the drafting area. Up ahead, Flex is carving his way through on RFX Rafa. Is there anything Rafa can do about it? He's braking late. They're very close. Continuing to race side by side as they make their way through the midsection. And now Flex, with some authority, they're coming through, staying side by side, continuing to leave space, but finally Rafa is forced to give up the fight. Meanwhile, Brother John ahead of Fiji, Balzac right behind, going to see if he can make any hay of this situation. But here we go. Ginger is ahead of X-Max, of course. X-Max is leading him now, has a potential strategy advantage. If he can just stay close, Ginger's going to be in a lot of trouble this race. Sheer Insanity, P3 and Cam, Raro, Luke Brax, Taylor Funk, Ian Brax, El Susia, Dan Flex, Rarfx, Rafa, Brother John, Fiji Dumbo, Balzac, Broken Blinker, and just a few seconds back on the blinker is the Baron. So that's a group right there feeling a little bit of an auctioneer going on right there. Luke Brax is chasing Rawercopter. There's a big crowd here who are running the mediums. Also, a little bit close there. Taylor Funk on the back of Luke Brax. We're getting a lot of aggression here. Ian Brax picks up another 3-second time penalty. That's now 6 seconds for Ian Braxton through the handboard. Taylor Funk takes a little bit of a wide line here. There's a lot of corners that really slip right into the area where the positions are shown. I kind of wish it was a little bit tinier, but so it goes, so it goes. There we go, you can see the car's lower panel scraping against the road as they come in. Some lockups as the cars make their way in. And Red Baron So right now, Ginger is not able to pull out a lead from X-Max, Sheeran, Sandy, Camborn, Bravo, Luke Brax, or Taylor Funk, or Ian Brax, or El Sucio Dan. In fact, you have to go all the way back to this gentleman right here, Arfex Rappa, to see anyone who's not in this DRS train. So why don't we sit on board with Flex? There's a couple of cars go a little bit wide further ahead, and we see if anything is going to happen here. DRS is now enabled. Of course, that only counts for people who are coming through the DRS detections, though. Looks like there's no overtakes thus far. Rafa, Brother John, Fiji, Balzac make their way through. So, let's take a moment to assess where this race has found itself. X-Max is now pursuing Ginger. Ginger has tried to stay out on soft tires, but this is going to become more and more difficult for Ginger as those tires are going to be hitting their absolute limits. There's not a great deal that you can do with those things at this point, and now X-Max, Sheer, and Camborn are going to find themselves in the catbird seat. I think Robber might have just slipped outside of DRS range, and that is going to actually put Robber under a little bit of a threat from Luke Brax. Further up ahead, though, we've got X-Max making a move on Ginger. Now we're going to see if something else happens here as Luke Brax goes through on Browercopter, and he cuts in. Not going to let Brower retake that position. Oh, Flex taking a tight line on El Sucio Den, but he has to compromise the exit, and that allows ESD to execute a little bit of the El Sucio plan, and Flex, oh, that's an interesting moment there. So El Sucio Den leaving just barely enough space, and Flex takes a bit of a corner cut and gets penalized for it. So Flex now with the penalty, and El Sucio Dan still holding position ahead of him. So this is a tight little grouping here that's been formed. Only Balzac and Broken Blinker and Red Baron are sliding a little bit off the back of this big snake carving through the middle. And was this Taylor Funk taking a little peek around Bravo to see if he can do something. And Flex is getting very close to El Sucio Dan. Is he going to be able to flex all over him? That sounds a little bit dirty, I won't say that again. Alright, El Sucio Dan demoted now to P10, but Flex got a penalty for his troubles. Now he's going to have to see if he can carve his way up higher. I'm not so sure about El Sucio Dan having these hards on. The only situation where I see it working out well is if there's no safety cars whatsoever for the rest of the race, which could conceivably happen. We made the funny observation that we've been quite clean green flag racers. The only real danger we run into is when we have safety cars. And it seems that we managed to keep things pretty clean as we made our way through that. Oh, I think I see a little bit of a spot on Broken Blinker right there. Oh, Sheer's getting close. But not quite close enough. Let's see if Taylor Funk is able to get around. Oh, here we go. We got some moves happening here as Ian Brax and Flex both go up in position. El Sucio Dan looks like he was trying to get something to happen there. Wasn't able to, and now Dan is going to have to be a man defending against Arfex Rappa, but up ahead, Ian Brax loses position to Flex. This group is so very tight as they push their way through. We're currently watching on board with Ian Brax as he looks ahead to Flex and Browercopter. Bravo has Flex right all over him, and now Flex is coming through. Is there anything that Bravo is going to be able to do to defend against that? I don't necessarily think so. He's going to try breaking a little bit around the side. Meanwhile, Luke Brax and Taylor Funk having a little bit of battle here, but it looks like Taylor Funk is going to emerge on top from that particular fight. We're going to see if Luke is going to be able to do anything else. Goodness, they are tight through the S's right now, as we are coming up towards what is only the halfway point of this race. Bravo fending off El Sucio Dan. El Sucio Dan on some hards that will comfortably go to the end of the race. They're not very fast, but they are sturdy. He's going for a move up the inside. Here we go. Can he make it stick? Oh, he's very close indeed. Leaves a very respectful amount of room. And now he's going to go for the deployment. They still have lots of deploy, but with the DRS, that's going to happen. And here we go. Camborn up the inside of Ginger, and Sheer and Sandy just ahead. Ginger is now starting to really struggle. These tires are not going to be a good time, and I would not be at all surprised if Ginger decides now is the time to toss these to get out and see if he can do something with slightly fresher mediums than everyone else. 15 laps on mediums, eminently doable. Further back, we've got a little bit of a battle going on side by side. Fiji Domo and oh goodness, is there something further up ahead? Taylor Funk? Where was... I could have sworn I saw someone really losing positions there. I think that was T-Funk. Meanwhile, up ahead, Ginger, as we called it, hitting. So this is going to promote Flex up into B5, and further back, is someone else going into the pits? Yes, that's Balzac who said, you know what, my 11-lap-old softs have had enough. I don't want you to talk to me or my tires ever again. Taylor Funk continuing to have this fight. It's just fracks to the left, fracks to the right for this man this race. He's got some nice lines through these S's in the first sector. I like watching him take them. So Taylor Funk is one of the drivers who's still maintaining some aggressive potential here. Oh, Pat! We were talking about aggression. That was definitely a bit of aggression, but it cost him. It looks more like Camborne might have a chance of making an overtake. No, I'm not really seeing anyone in the position, so now we've got El Susudan, who's actually in a pretty nice position here, but he's losing DRS range. Taylor Funk making a move on Ian Brax. Man, the pace that Taylor's been showing here, but it's going to be costing him because he's picking up some penalties with his creative interpretations of the corners. So I feel like Taylor has what it takes to get past Ian right now. The key is he just needs to get a nice exit, because he tried to do that off of a very, very compromised corner. It could have been a lot easier. Ooh, a little bit wide there, almost a moment. Further ahead. Oh. This is Raro pitting in. I think he's going to put on another set of mediums, perhaps? I'm curious, did he perhaps take a little bit of damage here? Let's see. They have a front wing. Yes, he had some front wing damage. Just wanted to get that off, put on a new set of mediums, take him to the finish. That's also going to put Ginger now in ahead of Robert Copter. Taylor Funk's where the action is today. As he continues to pursue Ian Braxton, he made a move last lap. I'd like to see if he can perhaps try and pull that off again. Oh, there we go. Another little compromise at the time just before he gets up to the offensive section. That's not what he needs. He's going to try and break late here and get in close to Ian Brax. A little bit wide there, and he is a couple tenths back. He's not going to be able to make an overtake. Not from that far back, but further ahead, we're going to have Camborne making a move on Sheer, but Sheer is going to try and take it back. He didn't push him that much, and that's going to allow Camborne to lock in the position. Sheer almost loses control. Well, that's a little moment and a half right there. Let's see what happened with Taylor Funk. He's, goodness, very, very close. I just should not look away from this man, because right now he is just nipping at the heels of Ian Brax. He is hounding him. He's trying to force a mistake, but you have to be careful not to force a mistake of your own as you get aggressive like that. This is the battle for 7th position right now. This Balzac picks up a time penalty. Lots of time penalties being doled out here, but shout out to X-Max, Luke Brax, and El Susudan, who are the only guys in the top 8 who have managed to stay clean thus far. This is an opportunity. Ian Brax is spent. Is Taylor Funk going to throw it up the inside? Here we go. The Williams breaking late. Doesn't want to catch him. We're having a little look over to the side there. And Ian Brax is just able to barely hold it. We've got a yellow flag in Sector 1, and that is Raro Copter. Raro has had a moment as he rejoins. He's just on some fresh mediums right now. That's going to be frustrating for him. But back to the Taylor Funk and Ian Brax show, because this is just keeping on giving. Meanwhile, further back, Rafa's got a little bit of a view of this, and Brother John has a view of that, and Fiji has a view of that. The train never ends. So here we go, Ian Brax in the lead right now, for the moment. I think the key problem is Taylor Funk isn't getting the very best launches, but this looks like this is going to be the moment. He comes in, goes around the side, gonna have a little bit of a look back at Ian Brax, and with that, finally, after laps and laps of effort, Taylor Funk has been able to get the best of Ian Brax, and he is now sitting fairly securely in 7th position. But he's going to have to deal with those penalties later on. You got to pay the piper, but the same is of course true of Ian Brax. who's picked up a couple of seconds himself. RFX Rafa, currently sitting in P9, is looking in good position to make something up here. Ian Brax with a little bit of a moment, RFX Rafa just keeping it nice and under control. The DRS is open, but the same is true of Ian, who's just able to stay within DRS range. Sheer Insanity getting very, very close to Camborne up ahead, but I'd like to have a look at these guys as they make their way into turn 1. So the group that have dropped back a little bit, we've got Broken Blinker in the pits, shedding his soft tires. Red Baron in the pits, getting rid of his mediums. He's going to take one more set to the end. It's going to be softs, no doubt. Raro coming through, and Broski going to come out next to his teammate. Well, some distance from X-Max, who, as we haven't been discussing this, has just been firing his way into the lead. He's now 5 seconds ahead. Ian Brax picks up yet another penalty. Flex is all over the back of Ian Brax right now, but Flex's tires are reaching the end of their useful life. So he won't have much longer, but he's got a moment to try and make do with what he's got. Here we go, up the inside. And there we have it. Flex takes P4 from the Alpine, but Luke Brax, well, there's not much he can do for the moment. He just needs to stay close to Camborne. Further back, RFX Rafa has made a move on Ian Brax on equal tires. The cars behind, we've got Fiji Domo, who's having a quiet, solid race, currently running P10, ready to take advantage of anything that goes wrong, because he's very, very close to the back of this battling group, and Sheer Insanity is fending off a charging, relentless Camborne. These three guys in the front are going to have pretty tired tires by the end of this, but they'll definitely be able to make it to the end. The question is, what? Wherefore goes Flex? Al-Susi then comes in, and he's got Taylor Funk behind him. Ginger just sets the fastest lap for Red Bull Racing. Can he get into the top 10 in order to capitalize on that, though? We've seen some solid pace from Ginger, but none of the races have really worked out so well in his favor thus far. Things went a little bit awry with the pit stop strategy a touch earlier, and that was costly to him. You see that Ginger has gone from fighting for the lead to fighting for the points. But there are a lot of points on offer. Right now, we've got Brother John, who is currently sitting in 11th place, tantalizingly close to a very, very nice finish just ahead of these guys. Both McLarens currently sitting outside of the points with only one retirement, that being Santi. Oh, we got a pass! We've got a battle for second place here. Sheer Insanity, Camborne going through side by side, making their way into this complex of corners in Sector 3, continuing to stay up the inside, but now Sheer holds the inside line. Cam is going to try and cut. Sheer goes wide, and now Sheer rejoins, and Cam is back ahead. Cam P2, Sheer Insanity 18, is now demoted down to third place. Now he's got Flex all over him. Flex is holding on to these softs. The softs are going to get, you know what? The moment I talk about it, Flex says, alright, well that's all I've got. Sheer Insanity now going to see if he can make anything happen on Camborne, as we have Luke Brax pursuing them, and then we've got a little bit of a gap. You'll take a look back, we've got El Sucio Dan, Taylor Funk, RFX Rafa leading Ian Brax. Ian Brax ahead of Fiji. And here we go, Ginger coming through, and with the pit stops from Flex and from Brother John, that pushes Ginger back up into the points. Where's Brother John going to come up relative to his teammate Balsic? They're going to be quite close to each other, if I'm not mistaken. Have a little look over to the side there, and peekaboo! I'm through! So Balzac takes position for Brother John. Flex now is going to be charging, so keep your eyes on Flex. He's not too far from the back of this group. So the middle chain is starting to break up just a little bit. El Sucio Dan is probably just around the inflection point where his hards are going to start being fairly okay compared to this now aging mediums. This battle for second just keeps on delivering. Camborne and Sheer Insanity in a back and forth, just looking away for a moment. That's Fiji, who's dived through on Ian Brax. Now Ian trying to make the position back. He goes wide, trying to take a wide line through. We're going to see if he can make anything happen here. But I think that has been Fiji Domo able to seize P8. Keep in mind, Fiji going to be able to go to the end. Ian going to be able to go to the end. Really, the only driver who's not going to be able to go to the end is no one. I don't foresee any other planned pit stops going on this race, except, of course, for Luke Brax, apparently, who is doing his darndest to deny what I am saying here. Alright, well, Luke Brax proving me wrong time and time again, but you never know what to do with Luke. He can be a bit of a wild card. Sheer Insanity, still pursuing Camborne. Flex is through, taking position off of Luke Brax, who's going to emerge in P11. So I think that was Luke taking a little bit of a hint, saying, hey, you know what, I think this is going to be a two-stop race after we all took that slightly early pit stop. So there's now a 6-second lead from X-Max to Camborne. X-Max is certainly profiting off of the battle between Cam and Sheer. Ginger picks up some time penalties, but the time penalties aren't necessarily going to be the biggest deal. Ginger has a lot of positions that could potentially be made up as he makes his way around the hairpin corner and down the back straight. He's got DRS, if I'm not mistaken. No, I am mistaken. Meanwhile, Taylor Funk and El Sucio Dan going into the corner. El Sucio Dan seizes the position. We were talking about that inflection point, and I think El Sucio Dan has seized it. What am I saying? Well, hey, Taylor Funk is not going to go down without a fight. Now he's got the outside line, and I think that's going to be the moment where he is pushed wide. Not really pushed, just has to take a excessively wide. Oh, Taylor Funk losing it. He is trying to get it back, but it's not a full spin. It's not a full spin. Taylor Funk is able to conserve some of what he's got here. He only loses a little bit of position. Oh, are Taylor Funk and Fiji? Whoa, Taylor Funk goes into the wall. Well, that's a moment right there, and suddenly everything is getting tossed up, but I need to see what's going to happen here, because Fiji is going to come into the very last pit stop, and Taylor Funk is going to come through as well. Is Taylor Funk, it's honestly fortunate that the person with the damaged wing ended up being further behind. So, Fiji pits, Taylor Funk pits, Fiji now coming up right behind Brother John, and now we're going to see some battling here. Just up ahead, I think we need to have a look, because Flex is like a shark in chum-filled water, because he's got Ginger and Ian Brax both on older medium tires ahead of him. He is just going to be going in, grabbing things, and spinning them around with his large muscular body until they are dead, and then he eats them. I'm pushing the metaphor of a shark a little bit much here. Maybe it's more of a crocodile than a shark. Here we go. Is it going to be a double pass? Flex charging through. That's not a good angle at all. But this is a good angle. As he comes through, that's one. That's two positions. You're not going to do it. You're not going to be able to fight off Flex. Not like that. And with that, Flex moves his way up into P6, and he is now a very, very major threat for the podium of this race. Ian Brax is through on Ginger, and Fiji Domo is through on Balzac. Can Taylor Funk maybe do something to Broken Blinker, who is on 3-lap old medium tires? Taylor Funk is a threat. He is one of these guys who's put on the fresh tires. Flex P6. Luke Brax, here we go. Up on the inside, Broken Blinker is going to have to back off, and Taylor Funk takes 13th place. Next up on the list is going to be none other than Balzac in his McLaren. Moving up further, let's have a look. Flex has to clear 4.8 seconds. Ginger really close to Ian Brax. Big dive from Ginger up into turn 1, and there's nothing that can be done to deny that move. Ginger seizes P7 from Ian Brax on 14-lap old medium tires. Now, Fiji up the inside of Brother John. Here we go. He breaks late. Can Brother John take the cutback? Fiji comes in, just a little bit of a threatening chink to see if he can make something happen, but now Brother John has the superior line, and with that, Fiji's going to have to abandon that position. Brother John holds on to the last point-scoring position in P10. Further up ahead, we've got a little bit of battling happening because Sheer Insanity still has Camborne nipping at his heels. We've got a trio here. It's Ian Brax, Luke Brax, and Ginger. Luke Brax right in the middle, and here we go. Ginger's in a lot of trouble as he comes through. And that's all it takes to make the position. Now, Fiji making another move on Brother John. He's through. Balzac also trying to catch up on him, and Fiji now takes P10. A little review of who else is still in this race. We've got Balzac, an 8-second gap back to Taylor Funk, who is one of the drivers who is charging on the soft. That incident going into the pits was costly, but now his car is fast and he is hungry to retake positions. Broken Blinker holding on nicely. He's had a clean, clear race in 14th place. Raro and Red Baron, both Aston Martins currently running in 15th and 16th, the last running positions. X-Max has a 7-second gap. Camborne has a 0.2 second gap to Sheer. Sheer is in a lot of challenge here, and I think the time has come for us to have a little bit of a look at the penalties. 6 seconds for Sheer, 3 for Camborne, 9 for Ian Brax, 6 for Taylor Funk, 3 for everyone else. So first coming into the offensive zone, we've got Camborne chasing down Sheer Insanity. Cam has been saving, Sheer has been spending. He's had to hold off, but now we're going to see if Sheer is able to fend off this. He's currently holding the right line. He shifts towards the inside. And with that, Camborne comes in. Big lockup as he goes around, and maybe Sheer's going to be able to capitalize on that, but I don't think he will. El Sucio Dan, meanwhile, looking very, very close to seizing a podium here because he is staying nice and close to the cars behind. Ginger, Ian Brax, Fiji Domo has a little bit of a gap here due to his pit stop, and he's trying to close 9 seconds up to Ian Brax to get higher up into the points. Broken Blinker is now fending off Raro. Let's see if Raro is able to bring some magic here. Broken Blinker doesn't have a whole lot to spend, and Rauercopter, he's got the DRS flap open. Raro goes up the inside. Pass, he's way over speed here. Let's see if he's going to be able to make the corner. He brakes. And he makes. Raro takes P14 from Broken Blinker. Blinker keeps it on the track. And now he's going to have to deal with Red Baron in a couple of seconds. Sheer Insanity is right on the back of Camborne. These guys have just been having a duel for the ages right here. This is going to be something that they're both going to remember for quite a while. They're on 16 lap-old mediums. Neither of them are fighting on the very best condition. This is two heavyweights who are quite a few rounds in, but neither of them has dropped. Not yet. X-Max leads by a gap that is beginning to close up just a little bit. Sheer Insanity is close behind Camborne. El Sucio Dan holding position. Rafa P5 and Flex has now closed the gap to RFX Rafa. With 16 lap-old medium tires, I don't believe that there's anything that Rafa is going to be able to do to defend himself once Flex makes contact. In fact, Flex might go for a big lunge right here, but he's still half a second back. No, he's sees discretion as the better part of valor, and rightly so, I'd say. We've got a little bit of aggression coming here as Sheer takes a very wide line to get the entry, but he's cut off. Camborne is not going to let him take the optimal line through there, but Sheer is staying extremely close, just as Flex is very, very close onto the back of Rafa. A little bit of a wide line compromises it slightly. Camborne continuing to hold the position here. And now we're going to see, can Sheer do something to take out, well, rather take the position of Camborne? Surely no one wants to take out anyone at this point. He goes for a wide line, but it's not going to happen. Not this day. Flex, however, is going to be able to make the move happen. We don't have a close view, but he's coming through. Flex dives up the inside, and that is all she wrote for RFX Rafa. Rafa is now just needing to keep on the thought of, I'm clean. My tires are a little bit old, but they'll make it to the end. We have 3 laps left. If I stay close to you, I'm going to still pick up a couple of points from the penalties that are awaiting everyone up ahead. So hurry on, Flex. Carry me to a podium. Further back, we've got Taylor Funk, who has cleared Balzac. Balzac with a bit of a corner cut to try and take it back. Let's see if Taylor Funk is able to hold up the position. Oh, Balzac keeps his nose in there, but he backs out. He knows that he can't fight him for long. Meanwhile, still within DRS range, Sheer Insanity and Camborne. Here they are thundering their way down. We've got a yellow flag in Sector 1 as Broken Blinker has had a little bit of a spin, but he is still intact, so that's good to see. Camborne continues to hold position. Ian Brax has lost the position to Fiji. Is Rafa disconnected? I'm worried that Rafa is disconnected. Oh goodness! Well, this is a big moment in the race. Rafa disconnecting. I'm going to just make sure that he has an invite back into the race. Oh goodness, he's offline. I can't invite someone who's offline right now. Oh no, and Rafa's AI gets a penalty for ignoring a yellow flag. That's nonsensical. That's very, very unfortunate and frustrating for Rafa. So, regrouping, we've got 2 laps left now. Sheer Insanity is behind Camborn, but Cam has more penalties. So at this point, we want to remember Flex and Luke are charging. Oh, Sheer just picks up a penalty, and that's critical. That is, in fact, absolutely critical, unless I'm mistaken here. We've got a yellow flag up in Sector 1. So Sheer, with 9 seconds of penalties, is now under a lot of threat from El Sucio Dan. We've only had 1 danger car, but right now, El Sucio Dan is the car who is bringing the danger. He's getting very, very close indeed to these cars ahead. I didn't think that I liked... Oh no, we've just lost Broken Blinker. Well, that's unfortunate. Broken Blinker does not finish this race. It looks like they're going to be able to clear his car, but maybe we'll be able to have a little bit of a look. Seems to have pulled to a stop near the end of the start-finish straight. And his car is cleared out of the way. There is not going to be any sort of safety car. Cam coming through, weaving to the inside to defend himself against Sheer Insanity. El Sucio Dan behind Sheer, looking for a podium. Flex behind him, looking to extend his championship lead because Cam is going to pick up a big heap of penalties. Luke Brax, a couple of seconds behind, followed by Ginger, RFX Rafa, who's reconnected. And I'm not sure, we'll have to figure out what to do with that penalty. It's rough when it happens under AI control, but the rules are the rules. And I'm not entirely sure if the rules even cover that. It's an odd edge case, and this has been a week for odd edge cases. Flex right behind El Sucio Dan. Flex is going to need to get past El Sucio Dan and make up 3 seconds. El Sucio Dan needs to make this move, or at least hold this position, because his chances of the podium could come under a lot of threat if another car gets between him. He's making a move trying to catch up with Sheer Insanity. Here they go. A little bit of aggression. But El Sucio Dan, for the moment, is able to hold off Flex. Flex setting some real quick sectors here. Balzac getting close to the back of Ian Brax in the battle for 12th place right now. Brother John is holding 10th right now. Everyone behind him has a big pile of penalties, so he's got points fairly secure. Flex is taking a position as further back. Balzac is through on Ian Brax, but we've got to move back up here because the battle is with Flex, Sheer, and El Sucio Dan. And for that matter, Cam is still in this fight too. Keep in mind, Cam has 3 seconds of penalties. Flex takes a little bit of a moment there. Right now, X-Max and El Sucio Dan, the only guys in this front group who have kept it clean and penalty-free. We're on to the final lap. The checkered flag is hanging, ready and waiting to see who's going to make it. X-Max definitely looks like he's going to be able to take the victory, but who is going to be crossing the line in P2nd, and who is actually going to stand there on the podium once all the penalties have been dealt out? Flex is just desperate to get past El Sucio Dan. He went for the aggressive strategy. Sheer Insanity goes a little bit wide up ahead. He's got 9 seconds of penalties, so his podium hopes are all but gone. El Sucio Dan weaving a lot. And now Flex is going to make his way around the outside. He holds his toe on. Oh, and the tires are interlocking as they make their way along. Here we go. Ferrari, AlphaTauri. It's the final lap, and it's one of the final good overtaking opportunities while talking about overtune, because right now El Sucio Dan is holding the inside line against Flex. He is holding onto it. Camborn is holding P2 right now, but he's going to lose it. Sheer is holding P3. He's not going to even be on the podium right now. This is a battle that Flex is slowly losing because El Sucio Dan is only going to need to hold 3 seconds behind him, and Flex is not even able to get through. Flex making his way along. He's going to see if he can make anything happen. Sheer Insanity can't get past Camborn. Not on this final corner. X-Max is crossing into first place. Camborn now coming around, and he is pursued by Sheer Insanity, El Sucio Dan, and Flex, but the positions are all going to get shuffled. El Sucio Dan and Camborn are your podium. coming through, but ahead of Flex. Luke Rex, Sheer demoted to 6th. Ginger comes through with a 3-second penalty. Rafa comes through, and there's a 5-second penalty that's applied. That might be changed later on since that was a bit weird. Brother John coming through in P10. Balzac making his way. P11, he's got 3 seconds of penalties. Taylor Funk was not able to make it back along with his teammate after that unfortunate hit incident. Ian Brax coming through. He's got 12 seconds of penalties, and oh goodness, his car, he loses a position to Raro right at the end there. Raro comes through, P13, Ian Brax, P14, and the final finisher of our 15 of 17 starters, it's Red Baron. I said it! I said to you, El Sucio Plan! All according to El Sucio Plan. Well, truly, for all we didn't look at him, a dominant performance by X-Max. He controlled that whole race. In no moment did he appear to be under any sort of threat. X-Max, a dominant performance, and it is a 1-2 for Ferrari for keeping it clean. El Sucio Dan with the hard strategy. I didn't believe in it. I don't think many people believed in it. And, there was another guy on the podium. It was Camborne. So after all of that, Camborne has actually managed to close the championship gap just a little bit to Flex. So even if Flex is able to show up, it does not guarantee that he's able to get the wins. There is some stiff competition up against him right now. So our positions, X-Max, El Sucio Dan and Camborne, Flex, Luke Brax, Sheer Insanity, Ginger P7, feel bad for Sheer with the penalties there, but penalties will be. Rafa got a 5-second penalty there at the very end, but I think he was going to get dropped behind Fiji regardless. We'll have to have a look at that. But this is the conclusion of our race. Thank you everyone who was able to drop in. Hey, and nicely done to Lekin. Cam's engineer, clearly that is all working out according to plan. And I think I'll be signing off in just a moment. So this has been an exciting race. I said it, Coda, it's a modern classic of a track, and look at the battles that we had here today. Everyone, thank you very much for tuning in to Formula Racing League Season 3 from Austin, Texas. Keeping it weird, but hopefully not keeping the danger cars weird. We don't like it when they get weird. So this has been Chaos. Thanking all of you very much for tuning in and saying hi to everyone who's watching later on. And wishing you all a very good night. And we will be seeing you again soon. Why don't I bring up that schedule and we'll look at what remains for this season. So there are now 4 races and 100 points left to be handed out. That was USA. We now have ahead of us Mexico, Brazil, Abu Dhabi, and then our season finale, recently announced, we're going to be going to Imola. So that is going to be a 1-week break before Mexico. So this is the 17th of January. The 24th will have no race, but then the 31st, the 7th, the 14th, and the 21st are going to have races. Yes, I know the 14th is Valentine's Day, but that's just going to have to be a reward for those of us who are not currently dating anyone, or married, or whatnot. Anyways, thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll be catching you for Community Nights on Thursdays and for the next FRL race on the 31st of January coming from Circuit Hermanos Rodriguez in Mexico City.